Well, welcome back to TM New Home Connection, where we connect you with new home sales and real estate professionals in Houston, Texas. I am Christy Durrett, and I'm here with Christy Price, and we have some guests with us today.
Yes, our guest today has a very, very interesting resume. He has been the manager of multiple restaurants, a new home sales consultant, a sales manager, a director of sales, a VP of sales, and now division president of Lennar. Let's welcome Mr. Michael Reamer.
Yay!
Somebody has a LinkedIn account.
Stalk much?
Maybe.
And we also have Jared Turner here with us.
Oh yes, Jared's here.
Where's my resume?
Durrett did not print it.
No, it didn't get printed. Sorry.
Okay, we know who the special guest is.
Special guest for sure.
Thanks for showing up, Reamer.
Is our friend Michael Reamer.
Yeah, so went through your LinkedIn, went through your resume. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background?
Kind of diverse, like you mentioned. It really, the whole restaurant thing just started out of necessity. Being a kid in college, what do? You go wait tables. And so from there, it turned into bartend, turned into managing, and then, who doesn't like some fajitas? I think it was Papacitos back
I was
then.
going to
Oh,
ask,
yes.
what was the restaurant?
Yeah, Papacitos right there at Humble.
Yeah.
I was there
Really?
for 5-6 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, and you said you were a bartender as well?
Yep.
What?
Surprising we didn't run into each other, right?
Oh my gosh.
No, never. I
Well,
would have
that
been there.
was always our meeting spot, was the Papacitos.
Well, that was a long time ago. I don't know if y'all were 21. back
No,
I was.
when we
I mean, this was
yeah,
early.
Jared's old.
Oh,
Jared
this
would
was
have
like early
totally
2000s,
been there.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It will say on your LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, if it comes out of my mouth about dates, it's probably directionally correct, but that's about it. Within 12 months-ish. I want to say it was 2000 range.
Your
Okay.
LinkedIn says
2000.
2005 or 2005.
Perfect.
Yes.
I hit one of the years. 2000 to 2005 was Papacitos. And then I guess I got sick of fajitas, or Chili's just came in and offered me more money. But I went
It was the Southwest
I had to
egg
go
rolls.
try I loved Papacitos, but it was just a better opportunity at Chili's. They was running my own store, and the hours were a little better. The airport shuts down at 8 instead of,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Papacitos.
like 2.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, restaurant hours are rough.
They are.
Yeah.
That's coming from new home sales.
Rougher than new home sales.
Yes. It's absolutely rougher than new home sales hours. You get weekends and you get 2 a.m. Combined with it. Oh yeah, and a fraction of the money. Now, I will tell you, I've had some siblings that have worked at Sonic or Taco Bell.
I don't want to know.
Maybe
that.
I should leave these nameless.
Yeah.
Other fast food places that
Yes.
have some funny stories.
Rhymes with
Schmacko.
No.
Schmacko smell.
That's a lot of rhyming. Rhymes with Monic.
Yeah. It's not a
But
fact.
no, Papacitos and Chili's were always above board, legit about their temperatures, and had a blast with both. But man, I had to get away. As soon as I finished college, I was like, what now?
Yeah. So how did that lead into new home sales? What was the epiphany?
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. So 2007 was when I graduated college, and my major actually ended up with 2 majors, but they were marketing and finance. And if you remember back in 2007, nothing was going well at all. It was like the new home sales market was crashing. Everybody was foreclosing on everything they owned.
Yes.
I like to tell people I turned a 4-year degree into 7.
fun.
Finally, year 7, I was done with it, and I was like, I've got to finish this thing and stop playing around with it. So I did. I did 36 hours, but I dropped Chili's at the time. And so I was really starting to stress about getting a job.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten married at the time as well. So there was a lot going on. And they had a job fair. Lennar was there. They had 2 of their managers there, Jeff Eric and Sean Chandler.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Y'all know them as well.
Yes.
They've been around multiple of our careers, but talked with those 2 guys for probably an hour. And then they took my resume and put it in a stack probably about this big of other resumes. And I was
So
like,
you were really
Thanks, kid.
hopeful.
Yeah.
Thanks, kid.
It's like, oh, that's what that stack back there
It's
is.
promising.
Never thought I'd get a call, and sure enough, like a week later, got a call.
Who called you?
No experience. So 2007, a lot of changes were going on with Lennar too.
Yeah. There was a lot of divisions.
Yes.
There was like 6 divisions and all kinds of things were changing at the time. So I don't even remember who called me, but I do remember my first interview was with Jennifer. I forget her last name.
Langland.
Yes.
Langland.
Langland.
Yeah.
Jennifer Langland was my first interview. And then things changed, and I had like another interview with LaDawn and Jeff, and get the job, and then I'm in Jennifer's area again. So I mean, things were moving around to where they couldn't even keep up with it. And I do remember Jennifer was like, "Well, thanks for this guy who's never sold any homes. What am I going to do with this?"
Because back then, Lennar didn't hire people without
No.
experience. You had to
No.
have 2 years experience.
Uh-huh.
And I remember, I just now thought about that, asking you a million years ago, how did you get in?
Yeah, it
Because I had to
was-
work for a couple other builders before I could get into
That
Lennar.
was just luck, I guess. I mean, I did
Good
ask-
interview,
His
something.
charm.
I
It was
asked
something.
LaDawn, I
There you
said,
go.
"Hey, why did you?" Because when I got in, I found that out. You know, people at the time, you were selling homes as well, and so I had started. People started asking me, you know, "What
Yeah.
do you mean you've never sold a home before? What are you doing here?"
Yeah, like, where'd you come from? Chili's? Wait, what?
At the airport.
It was a very weird answer for many Lenarians.
So that Lennar, we always thought we were like, okay, we were the best trained, we had the best resumes, blah, 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 blah.
Uh huh.
And then this kid in his blue pickup pulls up.
Yeah, it's true.
Blue
Everybody
pickup,
was kind of
yeah.
giving me like, "Well, I guess they hire anybody these days."
What's happened? Why?
Uh-huh.
Letting
I
the
was
riffraff
curious.
in.
I was curious.
No experience, no
Yeah.
referral. That was like blowing everybody's mind.
Wow.
Yes, because my aunt got me in, and I interned with them for 2 summers, and then I got the.
Well, LaDawn at one point told me the secret after I figured out, you know, and this was, I think, years after the fact when I asked her. I think she told me they really liked the fact that, you know, I had a marketing finance background. And then they said it was an interesting mix, I think is the word they use. And then at the time, there just happened to be this focus of the, I don't know, a quarter, a month or whatever from Lennar on University of Houston had a sales program.
Oh.
Like a legit sales program. It was called PEZ. I think it still exists today.
Huh.
But I wasn't in the program. I would have been, but it rolled out too late, and it was going to add like another year to my 7-year degree. And my wife was like, no.
Doctor or Pez?
Yes.
You're not going to turn a 4-year degree into an 8-year degree. And so I did take a couple of their introductory classes. And so having 0 sales experience, other than selling knives, but I guess that's a diversion. Having 0 sales experience, I put that on my resume, like right there at the top. These 2 classes from the performance and the excellence in selling from University of Houston. And that happened to be what Lennar was looking for, even though I didn't graduate. I don't know if they realized I didn't graduate from that.
Don't tell him.
Edit.
It's too
edit.
late.
Nobody tell them.
Where's the
We can
theme?
cut that. Can we still cut that?
Sorry, you're gonna need to go back and finish your credits.
If they said, "Did you graduate?" the answer was yes. I graduated University of Houston. Did you graduate the sales program?
Absolutely
No.
not.
I took the 2 prerequisites.
Not yet.
Sorry, LaDawn. If you thought I graduated, this is my formal apology.
20 years
LaDawn,
later.
you gotta ask the right questions.
Yes, I probably weaseled my way around that one. I didn't even realize that's what they were looking for. So I do think it was just kind of perfect timing, but that's the answer I got. And, you know, I think it also kind of combined with they had a couple of communities that nobody wanted to work for. I mean, the first community I was in was Pauline Westfield in 1960.
Well,
I remember
Whoa.
that community
Yeah.
because you were over there with who were you with over there?
Well, so I trained with
Alex.
Jesus
Yes.
Perret, or
Alex
Alex.
Jesus.
formerly known as.
Yes.
Deerbrook. Was it Deerbrook?
No, it wasn't Deerbrook.
No,
it
not
was.
yet.
I did train with Will a little bit in Deerbrook.
Yeah.
But it was Hidden Meadows or some
Oh,
Um,
yes.
I
Like
can't
near the
remember name of
Beltway?
it.
near the Beltway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hidden Meadows, Stonefield, area. We were
Yeah.
over there. I trained with Angela Bivens down south in College Place for a little bit.
Angela's amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so is
Edgewater.
Jesus. Totally different perspectives on the industry, which
Yes.
is really the biggest thing I learned from both of them. Is there are a lot of different ways to do this,
Yes.
and both of them still had a very people-centric approach, and both of them still very dedicated in their own way. Very different though.
Very different.
And I appreciate both of them taking me and making me do all the little things that they didn't want to do.
Make some packets. Lock up.
Yeah.
All of it.
Go upstairs and turn on the lights.
I hated when we didn't have a kill switch.
Wait,
Oh,
can
yeah.
can we go back to your underground knife dealing?
Wait, well, that'll fit into. Well, that
We
will
lost
fit
Christy, too.
Two truths and a lie.
Ooh.
That would have been great, except I already fessed up. It's a truth.
Is this a Cutco situation?
Petco?
Cutco.
Okay.
Have you
That's
sold
not-
them too, or did you get sold them?
No, I know people that call like daily.
Oh, is
Asking.
it not legit knives? Like, I'm
Oh no,
thinking
they're
like.
legit. If you've never had a
Cutco
Cutco,
knife?
Oh, they're legit.
Well,
Do you know
I
I
mean-
have a Cutco
Just
knife?
everybody
That's like
sells them.
$1 on it.
Yeah, I think of like a vacuum cleaner.
No, these are
I
legit.
don't have that.
I mean, I get.
I might
I'm sure
have
the
an extra
vacuum
one.
cleaner is too.
Listen, I'm still a licensed Cutco agent. If you need a set of
Really?
quality triple rivet
I do.
knives,
We'll talk after.
we can
I
talk
do.
after.
But you're not a PEX graduate.
They can be etched too.
I did not graduate.
But we have a
with
cut-
performance.
The Cutco University, we have the diploma.
Yes.
Well, I thought it was gonna be like a cooler story where you like
I do
dealt
too. Like,
knives,
I'm thinking like.
I mean,
hard-
Well,
like he's
like
throwing
in the
knives?
Day knives.
like
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 it's-
switchblades.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry. I'm not a switchblade
That's
kind of
price.
guy.
Do you carry a knife on the regular?
Well, this got real.
I'm just curious. I mean, that's a. I'm
like it?
Do you
curious.
carry a weapon?
I consider my phone my
Are
weapon.
you deadly?
Your phone.
I do not carry a knife on the reg.
Okay.
Would say
He has
no.
deadly incentives.
Yeah, I have deadly incentives. Absolutely. Have you seen my interest rates?
4 1/4 is
killer.
deadly.
Yes, they're killing a
Well,
lot
it kills
of
the
things.
competition, so.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
This is
No,
true.
I do not carry a weapon with me generally. You know, even though I am in a rougher area of town. But that was truly the start of the only sales experience I had was selling knives, Cutco knives, which was just referral based only. You hit up all your friends and family
Yep.
for knives. So
Yes.
Christy, after this, we'll sync up and
Yes.
I'll sell you a
Please.
$700 set of knives.
I want to hear all about them.
Well, they were 720 years ago. I don't know how much they are now.
Well,
They're
There's no
more
telling.
than
That's like
that.
one knife now.
Oh,
What?
well, there you go.
They're really
expensive.
nice.
I still have them. The
What
ones
do you
I
cut
sold
with
20
it?
years ago, the
Food?
same ones.
Yep.
What do you cut with it?
Is it food? For,
Mushrooms.
like food? No, mine already comes sliced, diced, ready to go in my
I don't think she
coffee.
cooks a whole lot.
I
so-
don't, and I am sure not spending $700 on a food knife.
Well, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Food knife.
Yes.
So if they start getting dull or something happens to them, Cutco.
This has very quickly turned into a Cutco commercial.
okay, okay.
Do we get paid?
What are we
for this?
doing here?
I would like a discount, please.
We are way off the rails.
Is there like a Christmas special? We'll talk later.
You know
How
what?
about this? How
I'll
about this?
trade you a knife if I can take this TNT.
You get that.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's your parting
Perfect.
gift.
yes.
Oh,
that is
all
a parting
well,
gift.
You still have to buy your knife then.
Yes.
So you have to tell us your craziest story in the model home.
Oh, I don't think I can. Craziest story I've done or no?
Either.
Oh.
We want to know both,
I
actually.
think
Well,
we
tell-
all know there's two.
Well, now there's two.
Yeah, now there's multiple stories.
Hello. How long did you sit in the chair? How long did you sell
over
for?
5 years. I sold for over 5 years.
I thought it was. Then you just moved
All right, I'll
right
tell
on
you.
up
That's
the
a
ladder.
pretty
Okay,
quick-
tell me.
That's a really
Tell
quick.
me.
Yeah.
I had a minute. I reset. I
Okay,
can tell
good.
you this one.
Okay,
Go.
good.
All
I
right.
was trying to help you out.
I've
This
got my
is
tea.
going back to Aldine Westfield, 1960.
Oh,
19. Oh, I'm like 1960.
the road, Dorette.
FM 1950.
How old is this guy?
Jeez. Okay, go. I'm ready.
So I hear this helicopter, and I'm selling a home at the time, and I hear this helicopter going, and it's continuing, and this is year one of me being out of training.
Oh,
So this was one early on in my career, probably within the first few months, because I was only in this community maybe 6 months, and finally the buyers finished signing. This is old school, like 109 pages
Yes.
by hand,
Yes.
where you have to explain every single one.
Yes.
And So you have this 18-year-old kid explaining a contract who has no idea what's on the contract.
What's a
but
builder fee?
they leave, and I look up, and there's this helicopter, which, whatever, helicopters going around. But then all of a sudden, there's a police officer at the front of the community with a bullhorn and tells me, "Sir, get back in your home." And so naturally, I start walking towards the police officer, and he repeats himself, "Sir, go back in your home." And I'm like, "No, it's not my home.
I can't qualify for home
I
yet.
don't live here. I work here." And he repeats himself very loudly a third time, and I got the point the third time. Get the hell back in the model. And I'm trying to figure out what's happening, and so finally I find something on the news, and it turns out there's some kind of felon or somebody robbed something and is running around and is in the community, and
Yes.
ends up, the back of that community had like barbed wire on it, but he gets hung up on the barbed wire and they catch him. But
Oh, wow.
I call Ladon, my manager at the time, and I'm like, "Hey, so I don't really know what to do here."
That's protocol.
And she's like, "You need to leave." And I'm like, "I can't leave."
No, I stayed till 7. I'm sorry.
I need a sale this week.
Where's the panic button?
Just like, "Shut it down, get out of there." And I'm like, "The police officer won't let me." She's like, "You need to get out of there." So I don't remember how I actually got out of there, but I did leave. I did get out of there at some point. But that was an interesting moment. Not the craziest, but probably one of the best moments.
Well, we need crazy.
All right, then we'll say that's the craziest.
Okay,
We can table that.
tabled.
Maybe something else will come to mind later.
So you went from NHC to sales manager quickly.
In only 5 years.
Yeah, that's quick.
That is quick. Wasn't Alicia out there with you?
Yes.
Yes.
Alicia was the one that was like, "Good luck. This community is it's like
This
where
sucks.
it's where they put you to fire you."
That's where they put the new kids.
This is my first community. What do you mean?
Oh my
I
god.
love
And
it
Jesus
here.
is your trainer.
I love it here.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah. But
And you survived, and then you're like, well, shoot, I can do anything after this. I'll just go be a manager.
I survived, sold them all, and every single one of those homes is worth double now. Doesn't matter.
At least.
At
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it just goes to show you, it didn't matter the area. Everybody who bought a home back then did well.
But you wanted to be there. I think that's the biggest thing. Is you wanted to be there. Some of the veterans may not wanted to be in that community that wasn't seen as a upper echelon level A community.
That's, I think, why they hired me. They were like, nobody will go here without feeling like they're
Exactly.
going to get fired.
But that's the biggest thing is, just wanting to be there. I remember the first time you were on my radar, you did a rendition of The Little Red Hen.
What?
I think I was the last one they made do that back in the day.
Y'all don't do that anymore?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Y'all do
But you
now?
still
We
do?
just- absolutely, we do. Yeah.
Are they as epic as like yours? And I remember Bill Briggs had a good one.
Wait.
There's some good
But
ones.
Reamer knocked it out of the park, and I was like, "Who is this kid?" Like there was inflection, there was I think like a twang to it.
Yes.
You didn't miss a beat on any of the words. There wasn't like a line. I need a line. I mean, just breezed right through it. And we're sitting in the back, the veterans. I'm like, "Damn, who's this kid?" And it's like he means business.
They put the fear of
And-
God in me. They were like,
Well, they do.
we'll fire you if you don't nail this.
Well, they used to, but that was just the culture. It's like you have to immerse yourself in this, and I think that's that's why you did so well in that community. Is you wanted to be there, and the Little Red Hen was you wanted to be part of the culture, not just
Yeah.
this is something I had to do. Like this is an assignment because you could tell when somebody did the Little Red Hen, and they
Okay.
didn't want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Is
But
this like the Lennar Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
Oh,
you know
okay.
the Little Red Hen?
No, I'm over
Okay,
here
y'all
like
go.
Oh, I don't remember it.
What?
Digging for worms?
Go.
Like 8
No.
paragraphs?
what?
You
It
don't
is.
want that. It's like a 5-minute poem. It is long.
It is
And
long.
you had to memorize it, and you had to get up and perform it in front of
Yeah.
your entire team.
Really?
Yes.
How
I
have
had the
you
joy
never
of doing it
seen this?
at Tops, so I had to do it in front of everybody.
I cannot imagine seeing you doing it at Tops.
Well, I had to.
Yeah, everybody had to back
They were like,
No, mine was at U.S. Time, so mine was in an intimate
Oh,
setting
yeah.
with. Mine
Mine
was
was
more.
at Tops as well.
I had to do it at Tops at the golf cart or go kart track.
Oh,
Track
wow.
21 or whatever.
I remember
Remember
when
that?
Bill Briggs came in
Or
a
that was
full
before you, but-
I remember
rooster
what you're talking about.
costume and did his.
So
Do y'all
for those of
remember
us who do not know what this is, what is the significance, Michael, of
It
Little Red Hen?
comes down to just making sure summarizing it, you're grinding, you're digging, you're trying new things, which is
Okay.
really about, what successful salespeople do every day.
Yeah.
So it's like an affirmation.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That you have
It's
to
just a
memorize and
constant
perform.
reminder.
Yes.
When times are tough, you dig for work.
Yes.
You don't complain. You don't expect a handout. You actually go out
And do the work.
and dig for work.
It's a silly little poem, but it has a massive meaning. Like the more you actually think about it,
It does.
and if you live it, you'll be
Well-
successful.
Michael will send us a copy of it.
I would love a copy of this.
You can probably even Google it.
I bet you
Okay. Okay. So it's not something just for
I can
Lenore.
print it for
No,
you.
it is. It very much is.
Did Lenore write it? I mean, did
I don't
is
know if
it-
Lenar's copyrighted it. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
I don't know. But that's back when we
If not-
had to sing and stuff and before meetings. Remember?
That was
Were you there? Were we still singing in 07?
Lenar
08?
fight song?
Yeah.
I mean, we still sing now every once in a while. We do more Little Red Hen than fight song.
We need a fight song.
We do need a fight song.
We need a fight song. So when did you
We've lost
meet,
Christy number one. She's still stuck on the fight song.
when did you meet Jared? When did you two rendezvous?
I remember the first time was the Little Red Hen, I think.
Okay,
it was,
back to the hen.
Seriously. Well, because Lenore was so big at the time.
he was in
and
the
we
new
had,
home division with me, and Jared was already upstairs.
I was on the
at
east
Lennar.
side at that time with Jeff Eric. And so Lenore was so big, we were closing 5,900 homes a year, something like that. This was like 05, 06, 07. We didn't meet together. We met separately. The
Yeah.
only time we met together was at Tops. And Tops, there was so many people because that was NHCs, CMs, admin, that was everybody. So there might be 400 people at a Tops meeting.
Yeah, easily.
So our paths never crossed, right? And there was no social media back then. There was no nothing.
There was
There was
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh, really? Does that, I mean,
MySpace.
There was MySpace in 2005, 2007.
well, I didn't have a MySpace account.
And he
So-
sure didn't have a top 8. So
I don't
No.
even know what that is. So,
Okay.
I remember the Little Red Hen. And then it was the blue Chevy pickup with the U of H sticker on the back. And
Yeah.
I was like, I got to pay attention to that guy. Because he's,
he's in a truck.
So that was right when I got out
He
of
went to
training. then.
well, it's like this guy knows, I mean, he's taking this seriously. Where some guys just show up
Yeah.
to just buy the next Porsche. Reamer was different. There was a few other guys that were different. And that's what, I guess that was 07, 08 when you started, you said?
Yeah, 07. I started late 07. It was a long training because I didn't know anything. So my
All
trainers-
5 years.
My trainers made me do their stuff for a long time.
That
but it
2
was
year-
probably 2-3 months of training, and then so maybe beginning of 08 was when at Tops I said the Little Red Hen, and they officially were like, okay, now you get the privilege of working on Aldi and Westfield in 1960.
We're giving you the keys to the castle.
Yes.
Did you put your hen in your
Oh, absolutely.
Name
I
tag?
still actually have that name badge with the Little Red Hen.
and the hammer
on it.
and
Yep.
Yeah.
all the things?
I
You
still have
have
mine
to
as well.
burn them into your name tag. You'd heat them up and then burn them into your name tag and then. put 'em on.
It's very yellow
This
and
is-
very aged.
2004 for me, but I still have mine.
This is giving me so many ideas.
I know.
Turner Mangum.
Sorry.
It's about culture.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I like this. I
Yeah.
really do. I like it.
It
And I
was-
didn't know any of this.
Good.
I knew none of it.
It's not on Google
So now
Or,
that
or
you-
LinkedIn.
or MySpace.
Or yeah. So real
Our
quick,
old
what,
account.
so what made you go into management? I'm curious. What made you apply after only 5 years? Because that doesn't happen.
Temporary moment of insanity.
Did Ladon talk you into it or Char?
It was mainly Charlene.
Yeah.
Charlene was the one. Ladon was still in management with Charlene at the time, but Charlene was the one pushing and saying, "Come on, come on, come on." And then at one point it was just Charlene, and she was like, "Please, come on, please."
I beg it of you.
And I, at the time, had a really good opportunity because you had, at that time, I don't know, like the year before or so, had transitioned to your next opportunity outside of Lennar.
Right.
And you had actually been like, hey, you called me and were like, hey, there's some issues going on over here, but you should take advantage of this situation. So I'll never be able to thank you enough for telling me, hey, you should go ask for Oakhurst. And
That's
I
a cool
did
deal.
that day. And there was some drama going on there, but it went well.
Yes.
And that was a great opportunity. And so I kept like telling Charlene, just let me sell another month. And then finally, my wife, and we had been talking about it forever. Seems like Charlene had talked to me for probably a year about it. And then finally it was like, well, where do I want to be in 5 years from now?
Yeah.
And you kind of have to sit back and think, is it about the next paycheck? Because management's not that. Or is it about the career path and what you want to do? And I was really big on self-development and, reading at the beginning for necessity, like figuring out this sales thing. But at the end, it turned more to just self-development and making sure that you're spending your time in the car, which is a lot,
Yes.
useful and not just listening to music. And I think that kind of all came together to where it finally was like, all right, in the next 5 years, I need to be in management. And this felt like the right time to do it. And I waited literally until Charlene said, I need a yes or no, or I'm going to ask somebody else. I said, today's your yes.
Yay! What year was that?
So that had to be...
I left in 14, so it had to be...
12?
No, I left in 14.
You left
He
in
left in
14?
14.
Oh.
Ish.
Looked on my LinkedIn.
That would have been 15 then, probably.
Yeah, I sold for
Because
about...
if you start about 2007
About 5
and
years.
8,
Uh-huh.
you were 5 years, and then you left Oakhurst. You took over Oakhurst.
Yeah. And I was there for maybe a year in Oakhurst-ish, and then I went into management.
It wasn't too long, just that next 2 sections.
May of 2015.
There you
There
go.
you go.
May
See?
of 15.
May of 2000. Oh, wait, hold on. No, that's wrong.
I don't know that one.
December.
It's close. Because I left in April.
December of 2013 is where it says sales manager.
We're a little off.
I may have been ballparking those dates too. I retroactively created my LinkedIn.
We will forgive you.
Because mine's easy. Because when we had some opportunities in Oakhurst, that's when I called Charlene and resigned, not realizing it was April Fool's Day. So that's easy to remember. And she thought I was joking. I'm sorry,
Wow.
Charlene. Love you. Shout out, Charlene.
Wow.
But resigned, told her this is it, my 2 weeks, appreciate everything, and hung up the phone and then called Reamer and said, hey, there's some drama here, but it's a good community. I've been here for 9 years. I need somebody to take care of it.
That was a great opportunity.
So that was 2014.
April
Fool's Day 2014.
Charlene probably deserves that. She's known for pulling some pretty bad pranks on April Fools.
And it was just, to me, it was just such a clear decision, because just when you know, you know. Didn't look at the date, didn't look at anything, didn't look at backlog. And she's the one that said, you're kidding, it's April Fool's Day. I was like, oh, damn. I'm not kidding.
Promise.
Though. I promise I'm not kidding, I promise. So, it was good times.
Yeah. I've worked with Jared on many different, well, even both of y'all, in many different capacities throughout the years.
Yeah, because I met you when you were a manager, but I didn't realize this. You had just became a manager.
Yeah, I was probably still faking it till I made it.
It's okay.
At that point.
As was I.
Oh man, Lennar was trial by fire back then. It was just monkey see, monkey do. Jump in and go.
Well,
But
you
the
moved.
path, yeah, from sales manager to VP to DP,
Yeah.
that was quick.
I was about to say that was a really quick transition.
I mean, because you've been
you know,
DP for how long?
This
Division president.
February will be 3 years.
So 2020. And so you weren't a manager until 2015, sales manager.
Yeah. So every
So that's a pretty
year
quick-
or two, I was making one of those moves that you were mentioning, from either sales manager or going from the Lennar side to the Village Builder side, or going from the north. Because at the beginning it was Charlene mainly south, me mainly north, and then we would, when I went to VB, it was just okay. I'm over VB, and then Lennar had Charlene and Lenore, I think at the time.
Yeah, I forgot you took over VB for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept us moving around.
Well, obviously you're a great leader. Do you have a leadership style?
Well, thank you. I think style's overrated, really, and I say that carefully because I think sometimes too many people try to fit themselves in a style bucket. I really think as long as the style you choose involves people-centric, not being a dirtbag kind of manager to where you're working with all of the different avenues, I think there's a lot of different styles that work as long as you encompass those beginning parts. But it's the style of like getting in there when there's a problem and rolling up your sleeves and working with your vice president or your director or your salesperson or construction manager on whatever the issue is. So that's, I guess it's hard to label it, but it's more of a see the problem, attack the problem, hire good people and trust them to do 95% of the job on their own, really.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then it's just the 5% that you're working with them on those issues. There's always some of them. That's one thing we know in this industry. There's always something popping up.
Be able to pivot and work through.
There you go. Whatever you label that style.
A pivoter.
Pivoter,
Pivoter.
The pivot.
capital P.
Yes,
Pivoter.
if there's something we know very well at Lennar, it's pivoting.
Yes.
It's a big ship, but you got to move fast.
Well, there's not too many division presidents that come from the sales side. Most
true.
division presidents in Houston, if not all, are from an accounting, construction, land
Land.
background. And I think that gives you an advantage because right now with rates and all the numbers that these builders have to hit, the best sales counselor is getting the deal. The best trained, the best equipped, those are the people that are actually going to get that lead or convert that prospect over the builder next door or the builder next door or the builder next door. And so I think that's a very unique perspective that you have that no other builder in Houston has. And when you manage for your people and know where they've been because you've been there, it's just something you can't, that's a bucket you can't replicate.
Yeah.
You can't duplicate that bucket. And so that's what I love. And Charlene as well as VP, she's not from land, she's not from accounting, she's from sales as well. So it's the only company in town that I know of where the top two managers are both sales background.
And I think we only have that luxury because of the fact that, we have a Chad who's been on the construction side for 25 years and just crushes it. We have a Dan who's been on the purchasing side for 25
just as long.
plus
Wow.
years.
Yes.
And crushes it to where those aren't issues for us.
Right.
We know that, regardless of, even as we went through supply chain a couple years ago and all these purchasing and construction possibilities to have issues, those guys still knocked it out of the park.
And same with title. People at title have been there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you have that consistency that, like you said, 95% of your day is taken care of. It's that 5% that we need to put our heads together and figure things out.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. And I think there's a lot of different people who do come up different ways. And you're right, sales is probably one of the lesser ways somebody ends up in the president.
For sure.
But as long as you know the different departments and have the good people, knocking out 95%, and that's what I attribute really everything to in Houston is our team. It's always our team, not just our VP level. We have solid directors. We have great managers. We have a good sales team that's been there forever, as usual, and the construction managers as well. They just have done it for so long. Even if you get into our office staff, who's been there for so long. That's really what encompasses the culture piece that we were talking about earlier. It's not just about building a house. It's really about what's behind that. It's a home for somebody. And if you really start thinking about it, it's pretty cool what we get to do in this industry, regardless of what side you're on.
Yes.
You're
For
changing
sure.
people's lives every time. And whether you only do that 100 times a year,
Right.
or you do that 5,000 plus times a year, we get to change a lot of people's lives. Even if it's an investor sale, you're still changing that individual's life.
For sure.
And in helping them get that investment property. That changes people's life and what they can do.
Yeah.
And that's really how we look about it. Look at the whole thing with Lennar is changing people's lives. And then it's not just focused on the number. The number's important. Yes, we have bills to pay as well. We have our people to take care of. But it's still about changing people's lives.
That's good.
So, what's the best piece of advice that someone in the industry has ever given to you?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
There's a lot of good advice I've gotten over the years from people throughout our organization and in the industry. Probably one of the best pieces would be from one of my old former regional presidents, actually in my interview to become a sales manager from a salesperson.
Ooh.
Where the interview overall didn't actually go that well. I mean, I guess I got
It's beside the
job.
point.
So it went good enough, but I didn't feel good about it, and the feedback wasn't that great. But he did tell me in that interview, and I'll never forget it, he said, listen, remember when you're going from the sales side of things, because that's what I had done my whole career with Lennar at that point, was sales, to the management side of things. You really have to shift, because it goes a complete 180 from what you can do for the company as a salesperson, what homes can you sell, what numbers can you generate, you know, how much traffic can you bring in, and then it completely flips to what can your team do. You know, it goes from very you-centered to complete opposite, not you at all. It's all about your people at that point. And that's probably the toughest transition almost every manager that I've seen come up since has had. And I always give them that bit of advice because somebody gave it to me. It's easy to say, it's hard to do, but it's the advice of it's always about your people. Hire the right people, make sure they're doing the right things for sure, but it still comes down to focus on the people, work through your people, and make sure that your people are put in a good position to succeed. And it's about them, it's not about you. Very easy to say, very hard to do.
I love that.
That's good.
I do love that.
I mean, I know you're not going on tour with Flo, but
Not yet.
Mr. Flo,
Mr. Rida.
Mr. Ryder, that's right.
if we were
Right
to
on.
see you out and about, what would be your go-to karaoke song?
Oh.
Go-to karaoke song. All right, well, for starters,
Okay, everybody, hold on.
Get some mushroom tea for this.
Starter.
starters,
Yes.
I did prepare one if we want to do karaoke. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
But we
I've
wouldn't
never-
do Little Red Hen.
I've never done a karaoke song. Is my first admission here.
What do you mean?
Never
Like, you've
actually
never
sung karaoke.
Got
Never.
Re-
Not
well-
even in my. I mean, I sing in front of my boys. They love it.
Aww.
I mean, they laugh.
Well, what if you were
Yeah, dad
forced?
jokes.
If you were forced to do karaoke?
Hand plant.
It would have to be a Journey song. It would be 80s for sure, 100%.
okay.
Yeah. You should get in your feelings.
Yeah.
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 Is that how you get in your feelings?
No, that's I'm envisioning Reamer
Oh.
and his feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be from the 80s, absolutely.
After the quarter's done, we hit our numbers.
Rockin' to some 80s.
Then yeah.
It would be an upbeat 80s song if I ever did decide to do karaoke.
To be continued. Reamer Part 2.
Yes.
Little Red Hen and Journey.
Yeah.
But I've never
Yes.
sung with Flo Rida either.
It's an experience for sure. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
It's an experience.
How
only
many times
We
do you
had
have to
smoke machines and
karaoke
everything.
before you can do Flo Rida stage performance?
I would say practice. I mean, we nailed it, and we didn't practice that, but we nailed it.
I'm getting on my MySpace after this, and I'm searching Chrissy Durrett
Please
Flo
do.
Rida.
It's pretty epic. Please
Practice
do.
in front of your mirror.
It's about 5 minutes of your time, but the ending is worth it.
All right, well, that's about how long the Little Red Hen is.
See?
All right, wait till the end is what you said.
Yes.
Okay.
The ending, for sure.
Price is just in awe. Just like what's happening.
So you have worked with all of us in some capacity over the years, especially Jared. How would you describe Turner Mangum, and how would you describe Jared Turner if you were forced to also do that?
All right, so I have to separate the two.
If you were forced.
Can I like one and hate the other?
Yes.
No. I don't know if you can separate the two, honestly. And
You
that's
can't.
No, you
I
can't.
hope you can.
Yes.
No.
is to where I would say it really is almost the the strategy I just articulated with leadership styles, y'all are really, as a company, all about the person you're working for at the time. And I've worked with all of you in different capacities, and it's always been that way. So I think it's genuine, and that's probably the best part about it is you have a good team, and it's about what you're doing, what project, or whether it's a lease buyout or helping somebody sell a home, or just working through an issue with me or someone else. It's genuine. I think you really care as a company, and that's because I think all of you really care as an individual about who you're working with, and that is hard to fake, and that doesn't go away with success. And so I can truly say, as we've seen you grow from a company of one.
One.
Yeah.
It was a dark day.
All right, I don't know.
Ladar was crying.
Turner Mango. Maybe it started with 2. I don't know. But a company from like very, very small to baby steps along the way to now, I don't know, is it the biggest small? I don't.
Pretty much.
I mean, it seems like y'all do a ton of business around town.
I mean,
We try.
largest in terms of numbers and transactions,
Just
but
the
still,
numbers.
but very small as a team. Still,
Yes.
very
Yeah.
small as a team. I
Yeah.
mean, there's 14.
It's labeled as number 1, but
That's,
You know.
those are just semantics.
We don't want to slap labels on anything,
Yeah.
but if we had to.
It
Well,
would be number.
congratulations. We couldn't be happier looking and watching y'all grow throughout the years. And the team's grown a little bit to 14 apparently.
Yeah.
But we like everybody on the team, so it works out
Good.
great. It's also why we keep working with you.
Likewise.
likewise.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. Well, and that's why we wanted you to be our first guest speaker on the podcast.
All right.
We actually, I tasked Jared and Dorette and a couple of other of our team members to make a list of their top 10 of who we think that we would want on the podcast. And you were in everybody's top 10.
Really?
Yes. I mean,
I
we
don't
had
know whether to take that as a compliment
No, it
or
is.
not.
It is.
I'll show you the list
We
later.
want to put you in the
At karaoke.
hot seat.
I mean, there was a lot of overlap in the list,
Mm-hmm.
but you were a very top on all of our lists.
All right.
You really were. So
I'll take it
we're
as a compliment either way then.
honored that you said yes to do this with us.
Yeah, I expected it to be fun. Boy, was I wrong. No, just no, it's been great. Yeah. Y'all.
You don't get your mug now, and I'm not ordering knives.
I don't even get to keep my mug.
No, you said it wasn't fun.
I still love the fact that, I still remember when Jared told me, he was bringing you on, and I was like,
Oh.
so now you're gonna have 2 Christies?
Yes.
It's like,
Yes,
I think I
Best day
asked.
ever.
I said, "What do you think about Christy Price?"
Did I tell you to ask Reamer about me?
No.
Oh.
You don't think I do my background?
Well, I
I was
remember
like, "What do you think of Christy Price?"
I gave you a list of a few
Huh.
names. I don't remember if Michael was on it.
So even though
he probably
I told
didn't
you-
call any of them and just chose his own list.
Even though I told you what I said, you still brought her on.
It was a rough decision.
He couldn't be happier with having 2 Christy.
I like that he just goes last name the whole
Yeah.
Durrett and Price.
Well,
Yeah.
we call you Reamer too. We don't even call you Michael.
Sorry, man. Yes.
And I call
But if you were
Christy
in,
1 and Christy 2. It's
Yeah.
like thing 1 and thing 2
That's
There
what
we
we
go.
We'll accept it.
Yes.
in a positive way.
Thank you. Well, I thought they were. Everybody loves those characters, right?
All right, so you said 2 truths and a lie earlier.
Yes.
Tell me what this game is. I've never played.
I've never even. Yeah, I don't either.
Do you want me to do it or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, 2 truths and a lie. This is where you tell us 2 things that are true and 1 that is a lie, and we guess which one is the lie.
Oh.
So you basically tell us 3 things.
So the name is the game.
The name is the game.
Yes.
Let's go.
Well,
No
you know,
faulty
I feel
advertising.
I feel like y'all know me too well to make up.
Well, something we wouldn't know, something personal.
I would have guessed that you had karaoke'd by now in your life.
That
Yeah.
would have been a
I'm shocked.
great. That would have been a great lie.
Especially all the new home outings that we had. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how.
With as well as you did the Little Red Hen, I thought you would have knocked out a karaoke at some point.
I mean, I don't have stage fright. It's not for fear. of
No, that's what I'm
people.
saying. I would have
Huh.
pictured you right on up there.
You're giving away too many truths.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So,
I'm ready. Go.
I tell you. So I just tell you 3 things, and then y'all have
Yes.
to figure it out. All right. 3
But 2 of
things.
them are true.
2 have to be true. Okay. I have no tattoos.
True.
Oh, no,
Oh.
he tells us all three.
Oh, all
and then
three.
Yeah, you tell us all three.
You tell us all
And
three.
then we have to guess which one is the
Yeah,
lie.
don't guess yet.
Okay.
Never played.
Oh man, I am the youngest of 11 kids. And I have not had a piece of meat in 5 years.
Okay, so now we gotta like deliberate here. Which one is the
think
lie?
The lie is the tattoo.
I think the lie is the tattoo too.
You think the lie?
What is the lie?
I
What
know
do you
you're
think
a
is the
big
lie?
family. I don't know if it's 11. And
Well-
then I know the meat thing too.
When you said 11, I was thinking it might be 10, but I know the meat thing is true.
I don't know if it's exactly 5 years.
The 11 was very specific.
So you're thinking that's
Okay.
the lie?
You're thinking 11?
I missed
The
that.
youngest of 11?
And
I
youngest.
really feel like it's the tattoo. Okay.
There's a few people on his team that are named Reamer too.
Well, yeah.
So what are we all going to say that he's the
The
youngest of 11
lie
kids?
is.
I know it is.
Okay. So the lie
Well,
is.
you just know Reamer.
You
so
are not the youngest of 11.
Are you the youngest of 10?
Or you're not the youngest.
so-
Oh, you're not the youngest.
Well,
That was the whole
ding,
thing.
Ding, 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 ding. That just dawned on me.
Did you not pick up?
Okay.
Y'all
yeah.
know my brothers.
No, we do. That just dawned on me when I'm saying that to your face. Yeah.
I know I look younger
I mean, you
than
look
them.
great for your age,
Yes.
but you're not the youngest.
I just look younger.
Oh,
than them.
yeah, because Steven.
The meteoric rise wasn't from the 22-year-old.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, so that is the lie.
Well, I think I messed up the game too already. I think I
Oh.
told you 2 lies and a truth.
Because the tattoo is
What did
the
I
lie.
say about the tattoo? I
That
You
forgot.
said you don't
have
have tattoos.
Oh,
Do you-
that's the truth. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have any tattoos, so that's the truth.
Okay. And then you said you haven't eaten meat in 5 years.
On purpose.
That
they
is
could've-
also, yeah, somebody could have slipped me
Yeah.
some beef stock or something. But to my knowledge, I have not had a piece of meat in 5
So you did it correctly.
Right. You did good.
All right, perfect.
It
So-
was sneaky. I don't know how I didn't catch on to that. Thank you.
But how many
My-
siblings?
Yes.
My mushroom.
Oh, yeah,
working.
the siblings. I'm the oldest of 10.
Yeah.
So I thought it was 10. When you said 11, I was like, I thought he had 10 siblings. Or I thought he was one of 10.
No, I wasn't even listening to the youngest part when you said the number part. But yeah, good catch. Good job.
Yeah. Too
Alright.
specific.
Yeah, I thought I messed it up. I didn't.
No, you did it right. You played it well.
I'll be
No,
better
but
next
if you
time.
had a tattoo, what would it be?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Lennar.
Sorry, I'm not working.
The hand. It'd be a little red
No,
on
TD
its chest.
little green hen.
No, it'll be TDH on one side and EI on the other.
Yeah, everything's included.
Yeah.
The EI. You'll just do the little cursive EI.
EI RIP.
I'll just put 4.25 fixed interest
Yes.
rates across
Do you-
my chest.
Actually, it'll just be no.
With a
across
lot of
the
little
back.
disclaimers.
Yes.
I just had an epiphany. Remember the jingle? Remember the commercial, the Lennar commercial?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Everything's included by Lennar.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
E-I-E-I-O.
And that was the little cursive.
hear it in my
Okay,
EI.
listen. I just realized that they were doing E-I-E-I-O because EI. Everything's included.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome
Yeah.
to the Taste Prize.
Yeah.
Every Monday we were grilled that.
Yes.
Well,
Had to sing it.
I didn't work at Lennar, so
That's
for
it.
me, I was just
That's where
like,
it
you
came
know,
from.
like,
Yeah.
what was it like Old McDonald? And I just like,
Yes.
oh, EI.
Yeah, we remember when they all
Everything
rolled out. We're like,
Still,
really? That's
still
gonna be our.
tons of stuff included. Although now we lean more into the finance inclusion.
Yeah.
Interest rates and closing costs, and that's what buyers need these days.
It's affordability. It's just trying to get people in.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
By far, affordability is the biggest challenge we have right now.
Yeah.
And it will be for
Oh,
a
that was
while.
one of our questions.
It's
Yeah.
not going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think rates are going back to 3 anytime soon. But the way we look at it is, look, if I can put a 4 in front of your rate, I can solve 80% of your problem.
Yes.
Right.
And
Y'all
we've
done
had
a great
rates
job
in
at
the
that.
4s. We've had rates in the 4s for over a year now.
Yes, which has been huge.
We still do. You can get a 4.75 fixed with us.
That's what I was about to say.
30
Fixed. It's not a 2-1. It's
No.
not a
Yeah.
1 year. It is a fixed rate.
Yeah.
And
Fixed rate.
disclaimer, this is as of October 2023.
She's done this
Yeah,
before.
don't pull this
When do you
up
guys-
a year
Listen,
from
these
now and
rates
come
expire
for
like
Michael.
weekly for us. We'll lock in an amount that may last 3 days, may last 5 days, but we are as aggressive as we can on the rate because that's the affordability issue that our buyers are struggling with, and then we just have to figure out the right place and the right home. And we've got a lot of places around Houston, a lot of homes around Houston to help out with that, and about 75 dedicated new home consultants to help with that part.
And what's the goal next year? The sales goal next year? The number?
Oh man, that's super top
As of right now.
Ooh.
No, we
okay.
can't.
the sales goal. Here's what I can
That's
tell
the
you.
TMT that he cannot spill.
I don't
today.
even have. I see what you did there.
See?
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Not spill.
Yes.
Well, I don't even actually know. It's not set yet. We're working on the business plan right now.
Yeah.
I will tell you, we beat our business plans, even in tough years. So I don't actually have that number, but kind of a cool goal that we can talk about is how many of our new home consultants are selling this year more than 100 homes, and next year it's going to be even crazier. Because that is our goal, is to put our new home consultants in a position to sell more than 100 homes every year. We're going to have more than 10 this year. I think we already have like 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've shouted him out on social media.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm on MySpace.
Yes.
Compared to how many last year?
Usually it's 0 or 1.
Yeah.
We'll get over
Wow.
That's what I'm asking.
0 or 1 historically. I think my top year was 99, the infamous year of 99.
You couldn't hold one can?
Well, that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, it's called sandbagging.
It was
Hello.
the year I went into management, and I think that was the actual number. I told Charlene, I was like, look, let me get to 100,
Charlene's fault.
and then I'll come into management. And I did. I hit 100, and I was like, all right, I'm good. And it wasn't even a random can I took. It was just a miscount. Like the very next week,
no.
somebody was like, hey, our numbers were off.
Okay, so
But
now
it's too
not
late.
only you've got to go back into new home sales to hit 100,
Yes.
and you've got to go back to U of H because you didn't graduate your PES course.
I sure did. Yeah. And now I've outed myself.
Yes.
I just have the actual degree, not the
two
sales degree.
things that have been added to your list.
Yeah, but now I don't know if I want to compete against our new home consultants now. I mean, we have somebody who's probably going to hit 130 sales this year.
Whoa.
Absolutely phenomenal. She hit 100 sales in the third quarter. Like
Yes.
I got 99 through 4 quarters. She hit 100 sales in the third quarter.
Yes.
And there was another young lady right behind her.
Yes.
And now
But-
that number's up to like 5 or 6. I think.
Y'all can go to the Lennar social platforms and see who Michael's talking about. But they do have some stellar new home sales consultants. for
Next
sure.
year is going to be more than 15. I'm putting that on the board right now. More than 15 of our new home consultants will sell more than 100 homes next
Ooh,
year.
who are y'all going to be? We want to see it.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. We really appreciate you coming on to New Home Connection and being our first guest speaker.
Yes.
And we will chat with you next time.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for more tea.
It
Thank
was
you.
More
fun.
tea.
And secrets like Christy just drinks mushrooms.
I only drink mushrooms. I will bring some for you next time in exchange for a knife.
In exchange for
I think that's a fair trade.
Karaoke and tattoos
It's
next
better
time.
be expensive
Yes.
mushrooms.
They are. I can't disclose the price.
Yeah.
It's worth a knife, though.
You gotta be careful. If you pay that much for mushrooms, you gotta get the right ones.
Yes, I do.